Yeah, it's it's a big relief, kind of. I know a lot of these guys have been working towards this goal for a long time, but I'm glad I get to be a part of it with them, so I'm excited.
We know you've kind of been banged up this season. How are you feeling?
Good, yeah, good. So, I mean, it's been manageable so far, so I hope I can continue to get better healthy wise and stay healthy while we go down the stretch.
What's maybe the calculus for you in terms of like you've made it to the playoffs already? Like, do you feel like you need to play the last couple games or rest heading into the playoffs?
No, I've never really seen myself as a player that's like we got to rest this guy. Obviously, you got to make sure our bodies are in the best shape that they can be going into playoffs health wise. So we'll keep that in mind. But it's not really I've never really been a player that's like I got to rest the last couple games here. But we're going to manage the health as much as we can, though. Keep that considered.
Is that something maybe, Nick, that you would do in consultation with them, though? I mean, if they say, hey, it might be smarter at this point to sit down for a few games? Or?
Yeah, I would. I mean, if they want to take the reins on that and they'd say that, but like me personally, I'm never someone that's going to go, I got to take these last games off. I show up every day and try to take that mentality that I'm going to show up and play and work.
In your experience as a player with this luxury of knowing you've got the playoffs locked up but 3 more games, what do you think the focus of a team needs to be then for these remaining regular season games?
Yeah, I think it's every little detail that makes our team successful, and that's going to be what playoffs is about, is who can play to their team identity shift after shift, game after game. So it's going to be important for us to build over the next games and make sure all those little details are sharpened as much as they can.
You and Travis are the only Ds to have played the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Like, do you have any kind of message, or do you need to be more aware to talk to guys about it, about the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think all the players, even if you haven't played it, know that playoffs is kind of a different beast. I know they haven't experienced it, but they know that watching it or playing in playoffs in different leagues, they know that it's a different atmosphere and everything's amplified to a degree. So I think they know that going through, and I think there's a little bit of an aspect where all these guys are really excited to kind of get their first playoff experience. So I hope that they get to use that excitedness and kind of bring it into the game and hopefully amplify their game with it.
Besides Brady Tkachuk, Thomas Chabot is the longest standing currently Sens member who hasn't made the playoffs. He's your D partner. Have you sensed from him just how excited he is to finally get to this point in his career?
Yeah, but he's always excited just to play hockey in general. So, but I can definitely tell he's excited and he's amped up to be able to get this experience.
There was also a chart that showed how many D partners he's had since joining the Sens. You've been the most consistent one, and you can see how he's elevated his game this year. Do you take some, I don't know if it's pride or just like, how much joy do you take in knowing that you've really helped his game this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that he's playing well. Whether it's me, I think he's just, he's a good player. He's competitive. He loves the game. He skates. He's good with the puck. I think all those were there before me, and they would be there after me. So I think a lot of the credit goes to him.
How would you maybe assess like the play of you and Chabot since you've come back from your injury, like the last 10 or so games?
The play?
Yeah.
It was there were some ups and downs a little bit earlier there. I know like 10 games ago or whatever, but overall in the big picture, I think we've all season felt pretty comfortable with each other and how we play together and communicate with each other and kind of play off each other on the ice. So I think coming off injury, there was no adjustment or anything. It's just it's kind of been there all year. I feel pretty comfortable with him, and I think we work together out there.
How important is it just to get, like, it seemed like you played together since training camp? Like, how much do you think that helps going into the playoffs, that you just have that consistency, that chemistry as a parent?
Yeah, the more you can play with each other like that and kind of read off each other on how you're going to play, it's obviously you keep building your game together. It helps a lot to have that consistency.
Nick, PK's. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Graham.
Nick, PK's been really efficient of late. What's been the secret to his success?
I think there was a learning curve with the PK. I think a lot of guys were it was kind of a new system for them. So I think I know me personally throughout the year, it's been a little bit of a learning curve, but I think guys are starting to grasp it pretty well. And obviously our first unit of peak penalty killers have been spending a significant amount of time out there, and I feel like they're starting to read off each other as well, because it's kind of a unit of 4 out there that needs to work together in our system. So I think they're getting really used to it, and obviously goaltending is part of it too.
Yeah. What's the difference when it is working well?
It's just the intricacies of our kill is there's switches and reads that you got to make, and the quicker we can make them, the better our PK will be, and it's harder for the power play to get those scoring opportunities. So the quicker we can make those reads and switches, the harder it is for the power play.
I just want to revisit something too. How closely were you following Obi's goal run, just given that you were his former teammate, and did you text him after?
Yeah, I know. I did. I was in the training room. I was in the training room when I watched it live, and I texted him after. Extremely happy for him. I mean, it's someone who's got as much love and passion for the game as he does, and just loves playing. And it's obviously well deserved for him, and extremely happy for him and his family.
Being his former teammate, were you surprised at all? Like when you were playing with him last year, like did you know he was probably going to get here eventually?
Yeah. I knew, his, like I said, his determination and his ability to score year after year. There was no doubt in my mind, really. And even when I was there, it was, after every couple games, it was another puck, another speech of who he passed in the goal leaders category. So I knew it was inevitable that he'd eventually get here.
You personally, you haven't too much time on practice ice as of late. How have you been preparing for games without that kind of time on the ice with the team?
Yeah, I think it's been a little tough. That's probably one area in my game that, not getting those puck touches and the practice time where you're kind of sharpening your game a little bit. Could say maybe it's dipped a little bit, just kind of dealing with whatever I'm going through. But with that said, nothing I can really do about it at this point. I'm still just moving forward day after day.
Have you had a season like this before, Nick, where you've had to, miss so many morning skates and practices just to make sure you're healthy?
No, fortunately not. No, it's been pretty healthy over my career. So.
What's it like going through that? Like, how different is it?
Yeah, it can be tough mentally, and you want to be able. Like, I know sometimes you don't want to practice, but when you miss every practice, every morning skate, you're like you miss it a little bit, or you miss it a lot, and it's important for the game. I know we don't just go out there to skate. We're not just going out there to skate. We do it there's purpose to it. So not being able to do that can have an effect, but it's kind of where I'm at.
It was just basically yesterday. I got in yesterday, and it was kind of just a last-minute decision. And at the last minute here, I kind of just got the nod from Greener, and yeah.
How last minute are we talking? Like, can you take us through a bit of a timeline?
Yeah, just I obviously knew I was coming up yesterday, but it was just had a pregame nap, had a pregame meal, and I got to the rink, and it was just like as soon as I got to the rink, I kind of knew. So,
okay,
yeah.
Like at the rink in Belleville or the rink?
No, the rink here last night. So.
Okay,
yep.
And playing in your first NHL game since 2022, I believe. Walk me through some of the emotions, some of the preparation that you had to do to get ready.
Yeah, it's been a while, but it was just I felt a little more comfortable. Everybody's been great to me here throughout the year, just with camp and everything like that. So I felt great. Obviously, I was very excited and just tried to go out there and get some momentum for the boys and just do whatever I can to help the team win.
How did your first shift feel?
It felt great. Obviously the first shift's a little nerve-wracking, but it was just great to get up, touch the puck a little bit here and, lay the body and just get into the game as soon as possible.
Who was the instigator in the fight of trying to start? Was it you or was it Pizzetta?
I think we kind of had a talk we had a couple talks throughout the night. And so we chatted, but I obviously they had a little bit of momentum there at the end of the period there. So I just wanted to kind of set the tone there and just get some momentum back.
Just jumping in an emotional game like that, just how was that for you?
It was awesome. Obviously I knew coming into the game how big of a game it was, and just watching the games with Ottawa and Montreal throughout the year, it was just a huge game.
I didn't check the AHL if you'd fought him before. Like, had you guys gone a few times?
No, I haven't. I just remember him from obviously the OHL days, but he's a tough customer.
Hayden, I just have a question. I'm just going to wait Sorry, I think I've got a battery that's died on our camera. I apologize for that. Did Green give you any messages about what he wanted you to bring to the game?
No, I think he he knows my game, he knows my style, and I'm pretty familiar with my role as well. So I just kind of go out there and do whatever I can to help the team win. As if it's a fight, if it's physicality, if it's getting a puck deep or whatever that may be. I think that's pretty clear.
Do you think this is an opportunity for you to show what you've got to possibly stay on with this team as they go to the playoffs? Like, do you have any insight on what your future could be?
Yeah, I think I'm a playoff player. I think that's my style. I just hard work and forecheck and physicality. I think that's important this time of year. So just take it day by day and see what happens here, and just do whatever I can to stay in the lineup.
Sorry if you got asked this, but were you aware of how much damage you applied to Michael Pezzetta's knuckles? Like all over social media, like his knuckles are just bloody after that.
Yeah, I know. I think he got a couple off my visor. I think that's what happened. But I think that was just a great tilt, and my knuckles are a little bloody this morning too. So.
If you do get to play tomorrow, it's against your former team. What would that be like?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's been a while since obviously been in Philly or in the NHL. But some familiar faces over there, and just see what happens.
Who on that team are you close with, or like
there's a couple of guys, Forrester, Cam York, a bunch of those guys that I played in the AHL with that have obviously graduated, and it'll be great to see those guys.
Did you ever thought that maybe the NHL wasn't going to come again for you?
It's obviously been in the back of my head, and I think I've always believed that I can play at this level and do whatever I can to be here. But it's just I'm grateful for the opportunity, and we'll see what happens here. But just work every day and see what I can do to stay around here.
Did the guy say anything to you after you got back to the bench following the Struble hit?
No. I think it was just. Guys are kind of laughing a little bit, just trying to be physical and do whatever I can. But there wasn't too much talk.
What are you sensing from the atmosphere of the Senators right now as they've made the playoffs and have just a couple regular season games left?
It's a great buzz. It's an unbelievable buzz around here. Obviously the crowd says it all last night. Just coming for the first game since obviously clinching, so I was just happy to be a part of that, and this is what hockey's about, Canadian hockey, and it's just it's a great buzz around the room and a great buzz around the city. So.
Can we see your knuckles? You mentioned there a little.
Yeah, just a little cut up, but.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we've been playing some good hockey all season. We had a week or two that we weren't playing too good and didn't look so good, but. We just kept grinding and keep trying to get better, and we're in the position right now that we're in, and it feels good.
Have you allowed yourself to reflect on the past 3 years with this season and just look at how far you guys have come?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of growing pains. We're a younger team, but guys are hungry to play in the playoffs and do some damage, and everybody, you can see the excitement of all the guys and the fans and everybody. I think it's well deserved.
What part of Travis Green's coaching this year allowed you guys to play a different style that you think might have been a big difference maker?
Yeah, I think just little details in their game. Could be very simple, but it can help a lot of us, the players, and I think just checking and just committing to the identity of the team that we want to be, and I think we did a good job with that this year.
What was the goal when you signed here? Was to get the class? Did you think it would take this
long? I thought last year we could have made the playoffs. Didn't go according to plan. A lot of stuff happened last year, and not excuses or anything, but anytime you change coaches and ownership and GM, and there's a lot of stuff that happened last year, and it was a frustrating season. But for this year, the start of the season, and everything was in place, and we knew our goal, and we put in the work. So it's just something to be proud of.
Does that kind of show what stability can mean to you?
Oh, 100%. As a team too, you get chemistry with a guy, you get to play with him all year, and just guys have a job to do, and you just try to do as best you can to help the team. And individual stats, felt like it didn't matter this year. So anytime you win, it just fixes everything.
In November, when you guys went through that 5-game losing stretch, what do you remember about what might have been said or what was done from your team to dig yourselves out of it? What might have been said in the locker room or just to help you guys out?
Well, there wasn't much. It was just when we came to camp, it was all about process and getting better as a team. And obviously, that was a good test for us to trying to get out of it. And some fans maybe quit on us, and reporters. I don't really listen to them. I try not to, but a lot of people kind of doubted us. So it's good to see that we're able to come together as a team and just get out of it.
You've been a difference maker in the playoffs. You've played with difference makers. How do you think Brady Tkachuk could elevate his level?
Yeah, I mean, Brady is he's a unique player, and let's just say we're happy he's on our side.
The thing about this group too, Claude, is they aren't just going to be satisfied getting there.
To the playoffs?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, we still have 3 games left here. That's 3 games that we can work on our game and make sure the details are good. And whoever the team we play, it's going to be exciting. So for us, it's we have a lot of things to talk about before the playoffs, and just got to make sure we're ready to go.
Sorry, go ahead.
How much do you think maybe leadership, like this, like in the past, it seemed like you were kind of one of the only older guys, but this year, like Ron, Cousins, Amadio, all these guys have come in. How much do you think that kind of impacts winning and kind of transform this team?
Yeah, I mean, you can't have too many of those guys. Just when you have guys that's been there and you fail, you succeed. Either way, you learn. So the older you get, the more you know, and that can help you. That can help your teammates. And Perron came in and he's got a lot of experience. He's been on really good teams and did well in the playoffs. So it's for him to. I think he was a big piece for us to kind of. He just brings that calmness and that confidence. So he's been great for us.
Your PK is doing really well of late. What's been the key to its success?
Just be on the same page. I think we're trying to be aggressive when it's time to be aggressive, and goaltending has been great for us for our PK. I mean, and I don't know, just anytime everybody's on the same page, just makes everybody's job a lot easier.
I talked to Jake Sanderson last week. There's been a lot of talk about the playoffs and what it means for guys like Thomas Chabot and Brady, but Sandy singled you out as a guy that he's really happy for. Like, what does it mean to you when you hear something like that, when your teammates hold you in such high esteem?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, everybody's excitement, it's through the roof right now. It's something that we wanted for us last year. We weren't able to get it, and we've been through a lot as a group, and anytime you come to the rink, and for us like this year or last year, even where we're losing or winning, you come to the rink and you're just happy to see the guys and have a great time. So personally, I'm very excited to be back in the playoffs. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot last few years, and I'm just really proud of all the guys.
Steve Staios talked about how this is really just step one, making the playoffs. What are the goals internally now about, first round, second round? Like, how do you, Brady said, he's like, I'm prepping for 2 months. Is that the attitude?
No, you have to. I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? So for us, it's, like I said, we have a lot of things. We got 3 more games. Don't want to get ahead of it. Not because we're in the playoffs that these games don't matter. They matter a lot. You got to make sure that your game stays sharp as a team, the details, and but when playoff starts, whoever we're playing, we have to be on top of our game. So we're going to be playing a good team, whoever it is. So for us, it's just be ready for that.
Do you have any routines that you like to go to for the playoffs? Like, it's been since you were with Florida after the trade deadline. Do you change anything as you approach the playoffs?
No, not really, to be honest. Just go out there and play some hockey. Either it's a regular season or playoff, it's still hockey. So intensity is a little higher, but when you wake up from your nap for a playoff game, it's pretty easy to get up.
no morning skate. Just curious what your approach is going to be for Philadelphia tomorrow with 3 games left in the regular season.
As far as?
Just how, well, I guess you probably haven't decided your lines yet. You like to do that the night before, right?
Yeah, I have an idea, but we're nothing set yet. Guys are still downstairs getting treatment and working out.
How would you like to play them? Is this like a playoff tune-up? Is this a rest guys game?
No, we're going to play every game to win. But in saying that, nothing's solidified as far as where we're at in the standings. But if guys are hurt or can't play, then we'll consider taking them out.
The big thing to you, Travis, is, and I think this was what you said to your team before last night's game, was playing the right way, right?
Yeah. Well, not just the right way, but with the right intensity. 60 minutes. There's certain parts of the game change when you get to playoff hockey, and there's a lot of momentum shifts. There's a lot of gaining momentum, losing momentum in certain parts of the game, and I think mature teams that have played in the playoffs understand that, and that's something that we're going to have to be mindful of.
What are the chances we see Nick Cousins tomorrow?
Fairly good. Yeah, expectations are that he'll play tomorrow.
When you see him skate, do you think he's up to speed in terms of, I guess this is where you test it.
Yeah, I mean, Cuzzy's more of a gamer than a practice player. But he's going to be rusty, and we're going to have to get him up to speed, and he'll show us where he's at as far as what he needs.
But good to get that kind of guy back too, right?
For sure.
He's your playoff kind of player, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm happy for him, A, to get back, and B, he's played a lot of playoff hockey. He also brings an element that is probably magnified in playoff hockey, and something to be said about been there, done that.
Nick Jensen mentioned he's never really had a season like this where he's faced the adversity of nursing something, being out of so many practices and morning skates. Yeah. Are you debating whether you just kind of give him some rest so he's playoff ready?
He's one of the guys that we're talking about as far as what's best for his game and what's best to make sure that he's on top of his game when we start.
How do you think he's just given Thomas Chabot a different level to his game this year?
Yeah, he should get some of the credit. Jens is a real defensive-minded defenseman. He takes a lot of pride in playing in his own zone, playing hard, playing the right way, and obviously it's not just a partner though. It's Shabby gets a major part in that, in his mindset of how he plays, and you can have one really good defensive partner, but if you're not committed to defending, it's not going to go well. And a lot of times defending or checking comes from not one, not two, but 5-man units.
He's skating at the Sensplex today?
He skated already, yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you chatted with him?
Yeah, it feels good.
Any
Yeah.
chance we'll see him tomorrow?
Nope.
Your kind of field's been really efficient of late. What's working?
Well, I think they're doing a good job being aggressive when they need to be. I think it's been a work in progress all year. I think the more times we're aggressive, the better. I think it's done a good job for the last, really, probably, I think we had one game where we got stung for a few, but for the last 4 to 6 weeks, it's been much improved.
And now that you punch your ticket for the postseason, when do you start your preparation for your prospective opponents? And how do you manage that?
We'll know more day by day. It's not like we're prepping for 4 teams right now. We're still, prepping for tomorrow with Philadelphia, and we might know who we're playing in the next 24 hours. We might take a few days. We might not know till the very end.
If your opponent gets solidified, at some point in the next 24, 48 hours, does your larger staff just start doing tons of video analysis on that opponent just to prepare for that?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it when you prep for playoffs, and it's a lot of work, but that's all part of it.
With your goalies now, Travis, do you think just one
rotate for the final 3 games, or have you kind of thought about that at all?
Thought about it. Yeah.
Who are you going to start tomorrow?
Guess you'll have to wait and see. Come to the game and find out.
Do you guys know who's starting tomorrow?
Yep.
Sorry for the general question here, but obviously you've played in the league for a long time. Now you're coaching the last few years. I'd like to know your thoughts on the evolution of chirping from when you got into the league to now, where you're behind the bench and you may hear them obviously with your players, but how has that changed from when you started to now?
It's a little more polite now. Probably not quite as intense as it used to be. I mean, it used to be quite an art, but I have to stop myself once in a while from reminding or giving our guys a chirp if I hear one that I don't like, so to help them out a little bit. But yeah, it's a little milder, is how I would phrase it.
What do you think is the reason why it's gotten milder over the years?
To be honest, I don't know. The game's changed a lot too. It's not quite as vicious as it used to be, I think, and yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Who's the best chirper of your era?
God, I don't know. Felt like everyone was good at it back then. Darcy Tucker was pretty good at it. JR was good. So, but there was a lot of guys on every team that were pretty good.
Is there a chirp either that you've delivered or you've heard that stands out to you over the years?
There's lots. Probably ones I can't repeat though.